We've spent almost 2 decades hearing about Yardy's magic, as if he was a magician not just offered to St. Louis, but given to them so they might bestow his radiance on the rest of us. He was described as a scion of the unique abilities that only St. Louis can create. With a string of rather ordinary accomplishments under his belt, doubts arise on whether Molina deserves to walk down Cooperstown Memoriam as a Hall of Famer, considering his catching history and overall performance in MLB. Today, we'll look at Molina's stats and highlights from his nearly 2-decade-long career, comparing him to the likes of Jason Kendall, Chris Martin, Mauer, and other MLB catchers who've made it to Cooperstown. Yardy Molina, the Cardinals' longtime catcher, has officially retired after wearing the team's jersey since 2004. Last October, he ended the last year of his stellar 19-year career, which included 2 World Series victories in 2006 and 2011. Molina and the Cardinals made the playoffs 13 times in 19 years. He singled to right field in his last postseason at bat in the 9th inning of Game 2 of the Wild Card Series last October. A pinch hitter replaced him, and the Philadelphia Phillies quickly won, completing a 2-game sweep. However, Molina appeared in 2,224 Redbirds games, including 2,184 at the bat. This was the most games caught by a single player in baseball history. By late 2000, Molina had already recorded his 2,000th career hit. He drove in his 1,000th career run in May, making him the 8th backstop in history to get 2,000 hits and 1,000 RBI. The other 7 on this list are also Hall of Famers. Ted Simmons, a veteran Cardinals catcher, member of the 2,000 hits, 1,000 RBI club for backstops, was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, in December of 2019. Today's Cooperstown cred question is whether Molina will join Simmons in the Hall of Fame. Molina seems to be a lock based on the conventional metrics by which many players, particularly catchers, are evaluated. This is despite the fact that he was a 10-time All-Star, a 9-time Gold Glove Award winner, and a vital player to those 2 World Series victories. Molina has his case to become a Hall of Famer after he received 169 points on the Bill James Hall of Fame monitor, found on Molina's baseball reference profile, with 130 considered a virtual cinch. However, according to the same website, Yardy has a lifetime WAR, wins above replacement of 42.3, and a JAWS score of 35.5, ranking him 22nd among all catchers in MLB history. So, which comes first, the accolades or the numbers? After a quick summary of Molina's 19-year career, we'll get into that discussion. It seems the passion for the game runs in Molina's family, as many baseball fans would remember Yardy's elder brothers, Benji and Jose Molina. They had successful careers as catchers in Major League Baseball. Benji played 13 seasons in MLB, while Jose played 15. Benji and Jose were members of the 2002 Anaheim Angels, who defeated the San Francisco Giants in the World Series. Jose earned his 2nd ring as a backup catcher for the New York Yankees in 2009. Even though none of his older brothers had careers as successful as his, both Benji and Jose have been well acknowledged for their defenses. Yardy wasn't much of a hitter in his early MLB seasons, but he quickly established himself as another Molina who was dangerous to run on. In 2005, despite slashing .252, .295, .358 for a pitiful 70 OPS+, he only allowed 39 base runners to reach in 951.1 innings. Molina shot 25 of those 39, giving him an outstanding 64% caught stealing rate. The Cards won 100 games in 2005, their 2nd consecutive NL Central Championship, but were defeated in the NLCS by the Houston Astros in 6 games. However, Yardy Molina's 2006 regular season was his lowest in baseball by every objective criterion. Molina continued to field his position efficiently, but accomplished nothing with the bat. He had just 2 home runs and 8 RBI in his last 39 games. Despite good defensive numbers, Molina was awarded a -0.2 WAR in 2006 due to his abysmal hitting record. Yardy Molina began to reach closer to his playoff level in the years that followed his postseason heroics in 2006. Molina hit .275, .340, .36, 85 OPS+ in 2007, but was restricted to 111 games due to a wrist ailment that kept him out for most of June. Molina hit .304 in 2008, despite his OPS+ being below average, 96, and received the first of his 8 straight Gold Gloves. He was an All-Star for the first time in 2009 and was only voted or chosen to the squad 3 times after that. Molina's most memorable postseason triumph would come in October 2019. The 2019 Cardinals won 91 games, enough for the NL Central Championship and Yardy's 10th playoff appearance in 16 MLB seasons. Despite the nostalgia, Molina did not get the finish he desired in his last campaign. In 78 games, he hit .212, .233, .302, 53 OPS+, with 5 home runs and 24 RBI. However, he excelled in the running game, taking down 13 of 33, or 39% of the runners trying to steal. Now, let's get into his offensive antics, but pretend for a second that you know nothing about Yadier Molina, besides the figures on his baseball reference page. Forget about All-Star games, Gold Gloves and rings, just look at the numbers. Yardy ranks in the following offensive statistical categories among all 69 catchers in baseball history, with at least 5,000 PA and 50% career games caught. Yadier Molina has been an average hitter throughout his career, so average that Baseball Reference ranks him 22nd all-time in the Jaff Jaw system and tied for 19th in WAR, behind Willie Shang, Gene Tennis, Thury Munson, and Bill Freehan, as well as Mauer, Posey, and Posada. According to the statistics above, Molina has not had an offensive career worthy of Cooperstown. To be honest, he's not even close. The names behind Yardy on these rankings are those whose careers overlapped by at least 1 year, meaning they played at least one season between 2004 and 2022. There are numerous games on this list that any contemporary fan would recognize. Here are the complete stats for Molina and some of his contemporaries. We've included Mauer on this list since his finest years were spent behind the plate, and he'll be considered for the Hall of Fame a few years before Molina. So, as much as this may surprise, shock, and irritate St. Louis Cardinals fans, let it be known, there will be debate about whether Yadier Molina should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's not scientific, and it's a sample of, mainly but not entirely, non-Hall of Famer voters. But this question was asked on Twitter a few years ago regarding whether Yardy deserved the Hall of Fame. 58% of those polled replied yes, 27% said no, and 15% said it was too early to tell. Because a player must get 75% of the vote to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, Molina might be as divisive as Jack Morris, already inducted through the Veterans Committee, or Omar Vizquel, on the ballot for the 6th time in 2023. What made Morris and Vizquel controversial were the strong feelings that they were Cooperstown worthy because they seemed like Hall of Famers while playing, and the equally strong feelings that they did or did not belong because each had a subpar career. Vizquel has 45.7 WAR, while Morris has 43.6. Molina's argument for induction must be that he was one of the finest defensive catchers of all time, with added credit for being a pivotal character in 21st century playoff history. If you're a stat geek searching for positive sabermetric news for Yadier Molina's Hall of Fame case, go no further than Molina's pitch framing metrics. Pitch framing is the art of stealing strikes, or more charitably, revealing a strike to a human umpire prone to error. However, Fangraphs and Baseball Prospectus have used that data to recalculate every current catcher's WAR. Fangraphs released updated WAR figures for backstops based on pitch framing analytics in March 2019. The findings were shocking. The new methodology increased Molina's career worth by over 50%, while increasing the value of Brian McCann and Russell Martin by more than 50%. So, back to the original question, is Yadier Molina the finest catcher? Does he deserve a Cooperstown plaque? Before passing our judgment, let us question the athletes, as ESPN's Marly Rivera did in early 2020. Do you think about the Hall of Fame? She asked Yadier Molina. Yes, I think about it. When I started my career, I had to overcome a lot of obstacles, and even though Tony La Russa gave me a chance, I was bombarded by negative comments. The press killed me because of my offense, my personality, whatever. All I've done is work hard to get better and better every single year to become the best catcher I can be, and my numbers are obviously there. I think that because of the way I catch that I'm one of the best catchers to have ever played baseball. In response to his last remark, one of the best catchers to have ever played baseball, we believe he's among the best catchers in baseball history. We disagree, however, that he is one of the top players, who also happens to be a catcher in the game. On the other hand, being one of the greatest ever at calling games, receiving the ball, and shutting down the running game is very important. Fangraphs and Baseball Prospectus put Molina first in their WAR calculations' defensive runs above average components. Finally, you can have it that Molina's dismal batting career is a significant negative. Still, it's offset by his exceptional performance while donning the veil of ignorance, with the extra advantage of being a solid playoff participant offensively. As previously stated, Molina outperforms the average backstop in shutting down opposing rushing games by 48%. In 19 seasons, he has extracted an ERA approximately half a run lower per game from his starters than his relievers, alongside earning 9 Gold Gloves. Well, maybe he didn't get all of them, particularly the final one, but he deserved a handful early in his career, and as far as we can tell, Molina's been one of the finest catchers the Cardinals ever had. Hit the comments section and let us know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.